Hi everyone, in today's pick a card reading, we're going to find out what will your future self thank you for at this time. This can be certain mindsets to embrace, or encouragement to keep doing what you're doing, or anything that wants to come through today. We have 3 judgment cards to choose from today, and 3 stones. So go ahead and see what you're drawn to, and feel free to pause the video if you need more time, and let's get started. Hi Pile 1, if you chose this judgment card with this amethyst, this is going to be your reading. I pulled your oracle cards, which we'll take a look at together, but first we'll pull some tarot. But before we get started, I wanted to mention that I did honestly see this card, and I also am taking this as a very significant message on why that happened, because it definitely jumped out at me, but I'm going to save that for later on so I can explain everything. But let's start with our tarot first. What will Pile 1's future self thank them for this time? We'll pull 3 cards. Alright. So we have 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands in reverse, and Queen of Wands. So that definitely confirms a lot for me, Pile 1. And I'm kind of tempted to just go for it, to just show you the oracles already, but I feel like I should really take my time here. So that being said, Pile 1, let's get to your message. I think that your future self will thank you for stepping into your authenticity and being unapologetic about it. I feel like there could be worries or second guessing yourself when it comes to how to be yourself. And I'm getting this message about peer pressure also, Pile 1. And that being said, I feel that your future self is going to thank you for standing by your own beliefs, your own values, and what lights you up, because this is going to be your key to success. And I also want to talk about this Queen of Wands, because I love the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is so fun and vibrant, and the fact that it's showing up today tells me that you have something very special about you that your future self is asking you to recognize and embrace more, which isn't necessarily an easy thing to do, which is understandable. But I'm just getting a lot of confirmation here that mainly based on your identity or how you view this world, you may think that at times there's a struggle between the norm and what everyone else is doing, and versus what your heart is telling you. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. So this tells me that your future self will thank you for really not giving up on yourself. And I feel like, Pile 1, you have gifts that your future self is asking you to embrace at this time. I feel like this could be creative gifts or spiritual gifts that will be important moving forward. And like I said, I feel like there's something here about the key to your success being you. Like, you hold the key is what I'm getting, pile one. And the fact that there's this reassurance that at times you could feel like you're going in circles or wondering if you took the wrong way or if you're doing the right thing. And I feel like there's a lot of confirmation here from your future self that you're doing the right thing and everything's okay. And definitely there's this element of trusting yourself more, for sure, that your future self is asking you to lean into at this time. And yeah, I feel like you could have a lot of worries, pile one, about the future. So that could be a big reason why you clicked on this video. But with this 10 of Wands in reverse, I feel like your future self wants to remind you that there's no, I don't know how to put this in words. Basically, pile one, I hope this isn't too harsh, but there's this message about needing to kind of chill out, because I feel like your higher self, oh, higher self, I just said higher self. So yeah, with that being said, pile one, you may be someone who's also connected to your higher self or curious about higher self concepts. So that being said, yeah, your future self is saying to not sweat the small things, to just look at the bigger picture and just remember who you are at the core. But yeah, pile one, I apologize if I'm kind of all over the place here. It's a very interesting message. So at times you could feel like you have so much on your plate, so much responsibilities, or things in your mind that you're trying to keep track of or just deeply analyze. And I feel that there's definitely this reassurance that you are safe and you're divinely protected and you're on the right path. All right, let's take a look at our oracles now. So let's start with this card that I was talking about earlier. So we have Trailblazer. You're meant to be a trailblazer. You're here to blaze a trail for others. You will be first to do something. So yeah, pile one, this definitely jumped out at me while I was shuffling, and I was trying to put it face down so we could look at the cards together, but it just jumped out at me. And I feel like this is also a message that your future self will thank you for not shrinking yourself down or and to simply embrace a more bold mindset, to be bolder, to take up space, to be more like this Queen of Wands. But I feel like there's definitely this focus on your identity, your individuality, that your future self is going to be quite thankful for your perseverance and for you to grow more into your confidence and not being afraid to stand out or be seen and perceived, because you have a lot to offer and you have something special, which I think I said already. But alright, let's talk about our other cards. I have not seen these ones yet, so we're going to find out together. So we have blue, communication, inner truth. So I feel like your future self is going to thank you for speaking your truth, definitely, pile one. And not just on a communication level, but just self-expression as a whole. And this card definitely reminds me of the throat chakra for sure. And the throat chakra relates to communication, but also self-expression and feeling more comfortable with that. And next we have faith in your dreams. So I feel like your future self is going to thank you for committing to yourself and to committing to your goals. Even if it's hard or if you have your doubts at times. And even if right now, pile one, you don't see physical evidence of certain dreams you have, your future self is noting that being consistent and being committed is going to take you quite far. It's something that will pay off. And with this 10 of Cups, I feel like your higher, I said higher self again. So yeah, pile one, I feel like if not already, doing some higher self work could also help you here. And based on my understanding, the higher self and your future self, they seem like similar concepts, but again, this is based on my own understanding. But today I just want to focus on your future self. But that definitely wanted to come through today for some reason. So yeah, take what resonates, of course. But yeah, to wrap things up, pile one, I'm going to pull some channel messages for you to kind of get some specifics. So this is my channel messages deck. So we'll see what else we're working with. I'm also hearing to not be afraid to look silly or cringy, especially when it comes to your goals and your dreams, pile one, because we all start somewhere and we're all students at one point, and even the experts, even people you look up to, they're constantly learning as well. Like, there's always something new to learn, even for those who appear to be experts at their craft or whatever field that they're in. And I think that goes for just about anybody. Like, we don't know everything, and that's kind of, in my opinion, the point of life is just to continue to be learners and to embrace a learning mindset and to not feel so hard on ourselves for not knowing everything or not yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, pile one. But let's get to our channel messages now. Oh, okay, that one come out. Oh, pile one's future self, thank them for. Okay. Wait. All right. So we have take a break, local travel, spiritual lesson, and dip your toe in the water. So basically, pile one, overall, that to take each step as something to embrace and not something to rush through is what I'm getting here. there's no rush. And this local travel, I feel like your future self is noting that you're going to get from point A to point B. And this could quite literally mean that in the future you could find yourself traveling, especially within your town. Hi, Pal1. Sorry for the interruption. I had to take a moment to sit with the messages because I just felt very, like, every time I thought I was getting somewhere, I kept drawing a blank. So it makes me wonder if at times when you have a certain plan set out in Notion, and when that plan doesn't go as expected, like when you have each step planned out in order of what you're going to do, what you're going to say, and how you're going to do it, when that doesn't happen, I wonder if at times there's this freeze response, or as though you don't know how to approach certain things. And I feel that this goes back to the fact that your future self is asking you to be careful of how you hold yourself back, specifically relating to perfectionism or having to have a certain way of doing things, because I feel like your future self is noting that these are spiritual lessons that you're meant to learn on the way to success, on the way to your dreams, because this to me feels like a message of working with what you have and not feeling trapped to do everything perfectly, especially on the first try. And with this dip your toe in the water and take a break, I feel like your future self will thank you for taking it slow and steady, but also taking this bold approach, like I mentioned earlier, and to not limit yourself or hold yourself back. And this to me feels like definitely embracing the process of it all, embracing the awkwardness, because this is going to be how you learn and how you grow the most. And with this local travel card, I feel that your future self will thank you for. I feel like this is a symbolic message, but it can also be a literal message about travel. So I feel that your future self will thank you for broadening your horizons and experiencing different environments, physical environments. So this could be moving to a new location or simply experiencing new places, new events that will assist in your growth and really lift your spirits. Anything that lights you up, I feel like your future self will thank you for going after. So, for example, I feel like if you're interested in music, and I feel that your future self will thank you for going to concerts or open to different genres, not just ones that you enjoy, but really allowing your mind to wander and expand through these new experiences. And to overall not stay stuck in one place, one mindset, even if it's scary at first or if it's a little uncomfortable, Padawan, I feel like your future self will thank you for giving yourself a variety of different experiences and not being too harsh on yourself for being on uncharted territory or being new or learning new things. And overall, that's what I have for you today, Pile 1. Thank you so much. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose this judgment card with this tree agate, this is going to be your reading. Let's find out what your future self will thank you for. So, starting off, I pulled your oracle cards. I have not seen these yet, and we're going to take a look at them together. But first, we're going to pull some tarot. Alright. What will Pile 2's future self thank them for? Right away, Pile 2, I'm hearing that you're ready. So, this tells me that there's definitely this element already about something picking up the pace or knowing that you have what it takes. What will Pile 2's future self thank you for? Okay, we'll pull 3 cards. Okay, so we have 7 of Swords, Judgment in reverse, and 9 of Cups. So this tells me, Pile 2, that your future self is going to thank you for taking a leap of faith in some way. And the fact that we have the Judgment card again, but in the reverse position, tells me that right now it could feel hard to trust your intuition or really trust where you're led. And I feel that your future self is asking you to really crack down on what it is that you want. What are your goals? What are your dreams? And really face that head on. And with the 7 of Swords, this is a very interesting message. At times, you could feel like you want to sneak away or just kind of undermining your abilities or underestimating your abilities and kind of just shrugging it off. Anything that you know in your heart feels good, anything that you know lights you up. I feel like you have doubts about certain dreams coming true. And I feel like your future self will thank you for going after your dreams, really committing to it. And I'm getting some similar themes as in pile 1, because in pile 1 I was talking about pile 1 being hard on themselves as well. Okay, let's take a look at our oracles now. We have Fire Opal, Sensuality, Confidence. Oh, this was also in pile 1, so that's really interesting. I believe it was in pile 1. And next we have Newborn Soul, Novices of Physical Existence, Lessons, Basic Life Skills, Survival, Flesh, Traits, Untamed, Childlike, Unrefined. I feel like... Okay, first of all, I don't think this card was in pile 1. I'm not quite sure, but that's not the point I'm trying to make here. But I feel like your future self, pile 2, is pointing to a strong transformation phase. And there's this sense of your future self is going to thank you for not resisting change and not resisting your transformation, no matter how uncomfortable it may seem in the process. And with this Newborn Soul card, it may feel like this definitely gives me this like death and rebirth type of energy. And I feel like this could definitely be your pile 2 if you haven't been feeling quite like yourself lately. If there's been a lot of questioning, especially existential questioning. Alright, so next we have Look at the Bigger Picture, Full Moon in Sagittarius. So I feel like for sure, pile 2, your future self is asking you to dig deeper regarding something. And that's not to say that I feel like you already are thinking pretty deep, pile 2, with all this questioning. But I feel like this is asking you to retrace your steps and know that there's more than meets the eye. There's more to I feel like you aren't seeing something, pile 2, that your future self is asking you to look at. I'm getting the sense that I'm getting this message about the answers being right there, or something being in front of you that you may not be sitting with or believing. I don't feel like this is a bad thing. It's just something about disbelief. Like you could be getting signs and synchronicities about your next steps, and especially when it comes to certain wish fulfillments. So I feel like your future self will thank you for listening to your heart. And I feel like this is coming through as a strong message, pile 2, because at times you could feel as though you're silly or your dreams are not attainable, and you could be someone who isn't really comfortable with sitting with your feelings. You could be someone who's very driven by the mind, someone who prefers more logical approaches. But I feel like your future self is going to thank you for believing in the magical side of things. but most importantly, the magical side of you and how just how special you are. But again, Pile 2, I feel like there's definitely this emphasis on how capable you are and how you could have certain gifts and talents that you don't even know of or pay attention to or acknowledge because you may not think of it as special or a big deal. But I feel like your future self is noting that there's something kind of exciting here about what you have to offer, and this gives me the impression of just you wait, if only you knew, there's more to come, and all of this is in a positive way. And on the back of the deck we have 7 of Pentacles. So right now I feel that you could just be trying to get through the day, Pile 2. You could just be not very, could feel as though you're on autopilot when it comes to your routine and your responsibilities. So you may not even realize just how much work is being done behind the scenes spiritually. And I feel that your future self is going to thank you for all your hard work. And I feel like there's this confirmation that to keep doing what you're doing and your hard work is paying off. And I feel like it's just been a long time coming, Pile 2. It could feel like as though you've had all these unpleasant experiences of just feeling as though there's one disappointment after another. It just keeps going. But I feel like your future self is noting that it won't be this way forever, and things will turn around. And right now you could be feeling like, oh, well, I have to accept things how they are. I have to just settle because there's nothing better out there for me. This is as good as it gets. But I feel like your future self is noting that that's not true, and it will turn out better than you think. But right now, while you're in the process of it all, and especially since you're going through all this transformation, and like I said, this definitely feels like a death and rebirth type of energy. And while we're in the process of it all, it could feel very intense. It could feel very, there's a lot of questioning, there's a lot of emotions overall, Pile 2. So I feel that your future self is also, there's a lot of reassurance here that your feelings are valid and you're not that it won't be this way forever overall. Okay, so to wrap up this reading, Pile 2, I'm going to get some channeled messages from my channeled messages deck, which is that. And yeah, Pile 2, I feel like today's theme, I wanted to do all judgment cards, as you can see. And I feel like you definitely embody the judgment card the most. You're definitely getting ready to answer the call in some way and really grow spiritually. It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes type of energy. Alright, let's get some channel messages. What will pile two's future self thinking for? Okay, so we have emotional blockages and don't limit yourself. So yeah, pile two, overall, your future self is going to thank you for, most of all, not disregarding your emotions and not playing them off. Or you could also be an air sign, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but that's just for extra confirmation. But yeah, pile two, your emotions aren't a bad thing. And I know while we're in the while we're in the process of it all, it can be kind of frustrating to deal with, like especially if you're trying to get through your day-to-day routine with these emotions and suppressing them and keeping them in the back of your mind. Like, I cannot be feeling the feelings today, I have things to do. It's the kind of energy that I'm getting here. But your future self is noting that you have a lot of depth and emotional intelligence, and it's a gift and nothing to be ashamed of, even though sometimes it could feel like more of a curse than a gift. But your future self is going to thank you for really nurturing your emotions. And with this don't limit yourself card, this kind of confirms with what I was saying about to not hold yourself back or settle or feel as though you're not good enough for better opportunities, because you are. And like I said in the beginning of the video, you're ready. I just keep getting that message, you're ready. So any doubts that you have, I feel like your future self is going to thank you for taking that leap of faith and knowing that to take inspired action when your intuition tells you to. And that's what I have for you today, Pile 2. Thank you so much. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose this Judgment card with this Carnelian, this is going to be your reading. I went ahead and pulled your oracles. I have not seen these yet, and we're going to look at them together. But first, we're going to start with tarot, and at the end of the video, we're going to pull some channeled messages from my channeled messages deck. But I just want to jump straight into it because I'm already getting a lot of messages for you, Pile 3. So before I started recording this, I looked at the time and it was 3:33. So that could be a synchronicity that you're seeing or something to look out for. But for you, Pile 3, I was channeling this song called Listen by Beyonce. It was in that movie Dreamgirls, I believe. And basically the lyrics talk about, I followed the voice you think you gave to me. And just overall this frustration of not feeling appreciated or heard by those you care about or those that you try to make an effort towards. So right away, I feel like there's definitely this element of cleaning house and really clearing out the old that your future self is going to be thanking you for. But I kind of just wanted to put that out in the open first. And so, but yeah, I'd recommend listening to that song if you want to see how it resonates. But yeah, let's get to the cards now, the actual cards. So let's find out what your future self will thank you for. What will pile number 3's future self thank them for at this time? We'll pull 3 cards. Okay, I'm hearing I try to speak, but the words won't come out. So I feel like you, pile 3, I feel like you've been putting a lot of effort into trying to prove your worth or prove to people who you are. I feel like you're trying to fight to be. There could be this fear of being misunderstood, pile 3, but I feel like your future self is going to thank you for pushing against the grain and not putting your energy towards people who aren't seeing your worth or make it feel as though you have to work extra hard for them to see your worth. Let's get one more card. I'll pile number 3's future self thankful for it. I feel like my voice is kind of strained. So there could be at times where just overall you could be overextending yourself, pile 3. And it's just this constant frustration of people not seeing your point of view or perspective, or even certain needs that aren't being met by those you care about. Okay, so we have the Chariot, 9 of Cups, and 3 of Wands in reverse. So I feel that your future self is going to thank you for kind of essentially getting unstuck, to not let certain people hold you back. And it's interesting because the cards right now, it doesn't give a huge energy about your connections, but right away I feel like there's definitely this energy of other people for sure. And especially with this Judgment card, there's like this group of people here, which is really standing out to me. And I feel that you're represented by this person. And this person looks kind of tired, to be honest. And I just get a lot of strong energy from this card right away. At times you could feel like your words fall on deaf ears, or as though all your efforts like it goes in one ear and out the other when it comes to certain people. And this could have been a common theme throughout your life as well, Panther, that you've tried to navigate and get through the best that you can. But I feel that your future self is going to thank you for not overextending yourself, because those who are meant for you are going to make it a safe place for you to be yourself. And I feel that at times you could feel like you're too much, or people could give you this impression. And with this Chariot, I feel like your future self is noting that this is a strength of yours and not something that you should diminish or feel ashamed of. And yeah, with this 3 of Wands in reverse, I feel like your future self is asking you to be mindful of following other people's opinions versus your own, because it's important that you trust your own intuition and your own vision. And I feel like at times it could be hard to really trust that because I feel like you have so much love to give, Pile 3, and I'm getting that you are such a vibrant person, and especially since you chose the Carnelian, which is already such a fiery crystal, it's a very exciting, passionate kind of energy. And I feel that maybe you just haven't met your people yet, or people that are going to be just as passionate and exciting as you are. And I feel that you could also be around people currently or just throughout your life who are kind of, it's kind of rude for me to say, but I feel like they have no character development. They're kind of just. Okay, I'm not sure if you heard that, Pile 3, but that was a motorcycle, but I'm also taking that as a message that you should slow down for nobody. And I feel like you are ahead of the game more than you think. And especially the way that you treat other people. You, like I said, you have so much love to give, and you bring light to other people's lives. And to be honest, I feel like there's this message about not everybody deserves that. And, you know, I'm not trying to sound harsh here, but I feel like your future self is going to thank you for protecting your energy overall and balancing that out with preserving that for yourself. Because at times it could feel as though after you hang out with certain people or talk to certain people, you feel quite drained. And there could be this confusion as to why. And I feel like this is saying that just that it's important to protect your energy. And on the back of the deck, we have the Hanged Unicorn. So I feel that your future self is going to thank you for surrendering to things that are out of your control, especially other people's opinions, or even to be mindful of getting too involved in other people's problems. And that's not to say you can't help them or support them, but I feel like your future self is going to thank you for knowing the difference between supporting someone and between someone who is trying to kind of benefit from your bright energy. And yeah, this Three of Wands in reverse, I just keep coming back to this because I feel like you are naturally someone who is so, you have such a bright mind, especially you have such a beautiful, dreamy mind. There's like, I'm trying to put this into words, but just that your mind is amazing, Pile 3. And there's like a whole world in there, is what I'm getting. And I feel that it could be a very important lesson in this lifetime, especially that I feel that is important for your future self to navigate. Well, let me rephrase that. That it'll be important for how it benefits your future self, because I feel like you have something so special, Pile 3, that needs to be protected. and you're meant to do bigger and better things. You're not supposed to. There could be this frustration throughout your life or recently where you've just been dealing with all these changes or falling out with people. And there could be this energy of what's going on? Why? Is there something wrong with me? But I feel like your future self is reminding you that it's going to be okay and that there's definitely this message about not staying in one specific place or relationship or friend group because like I said, Pile 3, I feel like you're ahead of the game, and I know that because you have such a big heart and I feel like you're so humble that this message could be kind of strange to hear, but I feel like your future self is simply asking you to just be mindful of your energy and to not feel discouraged or have this fear of rejection throughout your journey here, because I'm getting this quote about what someone won't do, someone else will. So I feel like this is saying that you're in good hands and you won't be left empty-handed. All right, let's get to our oracles. It's already kind of a heavy reading. So, okay, for our oracles, we have Syrian, lead a simple but spiritual life, drawn to caring for our earth, connection to ascended masters. Show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. Daydream, imagination, allow your mind to wander, quiet time. So yeah, Pile 3, this definitely confirms what I was saying about how amazing your mind is and how it's so precious and deserves to be protected. And with this show the world the real you, I feel like your future self is going to thank you for continuing to show up for yourself and being unapologetic about who you are. And with this Syrian card, Pile 3, I feel like you have such good morals. Are so you're somebody who's so wise and you know what truly matters. You have your priorities in order. You know what you choose to lead with your heart, while some people, unfortunately, choose to lead with their ego. And I feel like your future self is going to thank you for that. Even if at times you feel like there's temptation or as though you feel different from other people, this is going to be your superpower. Alright, let's pull some channel messages and then we'll wrap up the reading. What is Pile 3? Oh, Pile 3 is future self. Thank them for my channel message deck. Don't give up. Don't give up. Second chance. And with this message, Pile 3, I feel like this is strictly about you, giving yourself a second chance, giving life a second chance, and to not get discouraged. let nobody stop you. Yes. And unhealthy patterns. Okay, yeah, pile 3. This goes back to what I was saying about being mindful of how other people could pull at your energy and really limit you. And that's not to say that I feel like you're not someone who blames other people for certain circumstances that you go through, but I feel like in this case, it's okay to kind of acknowledge that it's important to be mindful of who is influencing you exactly, and if their values align with yours, and to not back down. If something doesn't feel right, then listen to your gut. So if there are any connections right now, or anybody who you don't just have this feeling, you just have this, I don't know about this, then I feel like this is a good sign that your future self is giving you this thumbs up that you're making the right choice. And I feel like there's this final message about feeling comfortable with your own company, and especially since you could be a people person, pile 3, but if you identify as someone who's more of an introvert, I feel like maybe you're simply trying to find your people who understand you. There's this message about it's okay to have some quiet time, to be in your solitude, and you're not going to miss out on those who are meant for you. There will be other options. There will be your people are out there. And overall, pile 3, to not give up and to keep being yourself. And with this 9 of Cups, I know I didn't really talk about this that much, but just that overall, your wishes are valid. And your future self is asking you to stay hopeful and be kind to yourself and continue to lead with your heart, because it'll definitely pay off. Even though it doesn't seem like it right now, you will find your people and the right circumstances that are going to light you up. And that's what I have for you today, pile 3. Thank you so much. Bye.